Hey, what's going on, all you diecast deplorables like myself? I got some cars out because I was working on a trade. I'm actually still working on it. We're part of the way done. Just got to kind of tie up the loose ends. It turned out to be a multi-car trade when it started out to just be a single car trade. But what do you guys like better? Like this one or this one? I don't know. Anyways, um, so yeah, I had these cars out, and I figured while they're out, might as well take a look at them. Although a few of these cars were not part of the trade, like this one here. Actually, all three of these Ford GTs, none of the three were part of the trade, which is good because I wouldn't trade them. So this one here is just so nice. I mean, this is one of the best values right now on eBay. $12 shipped. You can't beat that. You could get the yellow and black, or you could get the red and white. Kind of wish I had gotten the red and white. Look at these wheels, man. Plastic base, rubber tires, lensed fog lights on the front bumper, lensed headlights, and these are like not just lensed headlights, these are super highly detailed lensed headlights. Side view mirrors, prototypical wheels, which are definitely probably a top 10 wheel in my entire collection. That's how nicely detailed they are. Lens tail lights. No bad angles on this car. The stance and the proportions is perfect, but it's auto art, so you know, auto art prides themselves on that. They're probably the most accurate diecast company out there. I'm sure there are a couple above them that are like super high end, but auto art is a pretty. I think it's like the top of the line for like. I don't know how to word it. I don't know. But let's just say their attention to detail is second to none. The only other company that really puts that much effort into it in this scale is Tomica Limited Vintage. Auto Art no longer makes 1:64 scale cars, though. Or they might be back into it. They stopped for a long time. They might be back into it now. I don't know. But very tough to beat. A gorgeous car. That rear bumper is funny to me. I'm sure that I'm sure they would rather not have that there, but to meet all the government regulations, they got to have it. All right. Oh, let's show this one real quick. This is the 2017. So we got the 1966, the 2004, and now the 2017. Green light. Killed it with this casting. It's unbelievably nice. Unbelievably nice. No bad angles on this car either. And this car has detailed calipers, which are very hard to see in this video. They're easy. They're very easy to see to the naked eye. They're just hard to see because the lighting isn't great. But open air channels. Even Kyosho didn't do open air channels on the McLaren P1. So the fact that Greenlight made that happen is pretty awesome, if you ask me. Okay, so these are the trade cars. none of these, well, one of these was traded. Of all of these, only one of them was traded. But these are the ones I pulled out to offer up to the guy. So we have this really nice looking Ken Mary UCC diecast. These cars, really nice value too. Many of them have lensed headlights. They all have rubber tires. They're all very well scaled and proportioned, and they all roll very nice, and they all have very nice detail. So, and you can get them, most of them, in that $8 to $12 price range. That's an online price shipped. If you can find them local, you might be able to get them for less. This one was in the trade, and I'm glad he didn't want it, because it's a Toyota, and I collect Toyota, and really not sure why I pulled it out and offered it up, but this is Aoshima, and this has a ton of detail, lens headlights and tail lights. Very nice stance. The only thing with this car is that it's a cartoon car. It's from a cartoon, the Shakotan Boogie in Japan. And so it is a little bit cartooned in scale. It's a little bit bigger and bubblier than the actual Toyota Soarer. But it's still very cool looking and very, very nicely detailed. So that one was offered up. This one was offered up. This is a Konami Toyota 2000 GT. They have two different toolings for this car. I have both. I like the other one better. This is a nice tooling. It just, the stance is a little off. It should sit more like that. But it is a nice tooling. Lens headlights and very nicely detailed tail lights. Car has some really nice lines to it. And it's another Toyota, so I'm not bothered at the fact that he didn't show interest in this one either. And then the last, I offered this one up. I'm thinking about maybe doing a giveaway with this car. The only reason I may not is because I have the Tomica Limited Vintage and I have the M2, and it's a nice trio of Safari 510s. But I am considering it. It's a really tough car to get your hands on. Cool little car though. Jeweled headlights. Ton of detail. Painted tail lights, but of the Tomica Limited Vintage, this and the M2, this one has the most accurate sponsor badges. I'm pretty sure it has more sponsor badges, I'll say that. Dido. These were sold as 1 to 64 scale model kits. Very cool car. And then the last one is this one, and this is one of the cars that is looking like is going to be traded. This is a Konami Cars of the 80s Nissan Skyline GT ES 2000. I think I got that. It's a Nissan Skyline 2000 Turbo GT ES. So Hot Wheels just did one very similar to this in Japan Historics 2, known as the C210. And this one here is the C211. Very similar. Basically the same body style, just different headlights and taillights. also known as the Japan Skyline. So when Nissan took over the Skyline from Prince, they started out with the Hakosuka Skyline, and that was followed by the Kenmeri Skyline, and then that was followed by the Japan Skyline. And then from the Japan Skyline, you went into like the Iron Mask, the R30, and then you had the R31, R32, R33, R34, all the way up to the R35. And a lot of those had nicknames, but I don't remember all of them. I just remember Hakosuka, Kenmeri, and Japan, and Iron Mask. I think the Iron Mask was the R30. This is a really cool car, though. And I have the Kyosho casting as well in red. Sit them next to each other. It's very, very hard to tell the difference, which one is which. They look very similar, the way that they're designed and assembled. Even the wheels look really similar, but I actually think the Konami wheels are better. But I like the Kyosho taillights a little bit better. The front end is identical on both. But anyways, C211 Skyline. And then the rest of these are just cars that I took out to take a look at. Did some wheel detailing here. I have two of this car with this deco, and I just wanted to see what it would look like with silver wheels. This is one of the few that I actually do like with black wheels, though. But since I had two, I figured I'd give it a shot. I like it both ways. It looks good with silver wheels also. And here's a very nice, very, very nice car here from Biante. This is a Ford Falcon XR8. It's a Biante is an Australian diecast brand, and everything I've seen online, they only make Australian cars. And they're not cheap. These are more expensive than Tomica Limited Vintage. But they do have some older cars, like older race cars. I really want to get one. One of these days I'll get one just to have an example, because they're some of the nicest cars in the scale from a detail and quality standpoint. But I mean, check it out. You got rear defrost. Some of the cleanest looking lensed headlights and taillights I've seen. It's just very, very nice. It's very well put together. It's got a nice quality feel to it. From, at first glance, it looks just like a Kyosho. But when you really start looking closer at it, and when you pick it up, that's when you can really notice that it's not a Kyosho. It's too heavy to be a Kyosho. If you guys ever get the chance to get one of these, when I say get one of these, I don't mean a Ford Falcon XR8, but if you ever have the chance to get your hands on a Biante, you should definitely do it, because they are nice. As good of detail and quality as any brand I've ever owned in 1:64 scale. That includes Auto Art and Tomica Limited Vintage. So that leaves us two more. This one here I got out just because I wanted to take another look at it. I haven't looked at it in a while. Look at that thing. Thing is sweet. If you're going to get a Tarmac Works Audi R8, this is the one to have. All the other ones have black wheels or dark colored paint or police decos. If you're going to get one, keep it simple. Get the silver one. So this car also has lens headlights and taillights. It has rubber tires with tread. So lens headlights looks great in silver. Most cars in this scale look really good in silver. This one here is no exception to that. And then the last car is this McLaren 650S from Kyosho in yellow. Kyosho makes the nicest European cars out there in 1 to 64. If you're into European exotics, then I don't know how you can be into those cars as a collector and not collect Kyosho. That just wouldn't make sense to me. So, Kyosho, this one, just like all other Kyoshos, has lens headlights. And the tail light on this one is painted because it's a very, very unique, very thin tail light. Got the exhaust there. If that car is not sexy, then I don't collect. Alright. We'll just wrap this up real quick with a little street view. Here's your Ford GTs. You guys should jump on these auto arts for $12 shipped. Jump on it. Go to eBay. Somebody, if you buy a red one, buy an extra one and send it to me. That would be dope. You can own all three of these cars for under $30 and have a nice example of each Ford GT. The GT40, the first gen GT, and the second gen GT. Toyota Soarer, Toyota 2000 GT. Got the McLaren 650S. Got the Beyonce. Tarmac Works Audi. And of course we have the Datsun 510 Bluebird. Ken Mary Skyline. And the C211 Skyline. As well as the M2 Akko painted wheel variation. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. More awesome diecast videos to come.